Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harness. Welcome to questplay Skyrim.
They may not be the typical image of true Nords, but the Greybeards deserve equal respect.
You got it, Lydia. AZALEA'S Adventures, Chapter 28. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, that you're all kind of staying safe during quarantine. And if you're on the West Coast, that you and your families are kind of staying safe during the fires. These are kind of unusual times that we're living in, and so I just hope that everyone and their families are all staying safe. But yeah, so last time what we were able to do is we were able to
It's a great place to hunt.
track down the Greybeards. We've learned a little bit more about what it means to be Dragonborn, so Azalea now knows kind of like how shouting can kind of affect the world around her. And how kind of basically, like that responsibility weighing on her. So in today's episode, we're going to do a couple of things. One, we're going to return to Klimek to let him know that we delivered the supplies for the Greybeards. Two, we are going to retrieve the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller, which is in a cave near Morthal. I think Ustengrav is the name of the cave. And lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to return that brass token to Adrian. So with all those things kind of laid out for the plan for today, I hope you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy Chapter 28 of questplay Skyrim, and I will see you down at the mountain. Alright, and real quick before I return control to Azalea, excuse me, I did want to note that starting this session, I'd have moved. Lucy, you ran into me. If I... Sorry. Lost my train of thought there. So starting with this session, I have adjusted my audio settings. So now I have OBS recording my voice as -9 decibels, keeping the game sound as it is, but I did also adjust all of the in-game volume sliders. So master is left at 100%, voice is left at 100%, but pretty much everything else is, so that includes music, sound effects, just the ambiance, like that's all brought down to between like 30 and 40%. And I'm really hoping that starts to make a difference, because I have been noticing a couple of people have pointed out to me that it's just like, the game audio is kind of just overpowering compared to like some of the game dialogue, which I think is kind of just like an unfortunate result of how it was mixed, but it is something that I have noticed, like especially with like added followers, where like they might be just like a touch quieter than everyone else, and that can make it kind of like hard to hear. So that is something that I'm aware of and that I'm working on, and trying to keep this as professional as possible. The other thing is, if you guys know of a way to separate in-game audio or isolate in-game audio, so like let's say you had the music recording on track 1 and then like the in-game dialogue recording on track 2 and then like all the other sound effects on like track 3 or something like that. Like I've looked into that with like OBS. I don't see any way to really do that. I know you can also isolate stuff with Audacity. I was playing around with that a little bit, but like I don't know exactly if that is really the kind of like best choice. Just because it seems to kind of be hit and miss. I'm sure I could get it dialed in if I played with it more. But like it would just also just be like it would just be amazing if like I could use like a recording software that actually like had all this audio split out from the start. Then when I'm editing the video, I can keep my voice and like all game voices at like -18 to like -24 decibels, and then like all the other sounds at like -30 and below. Enough rambling. But if you guys do know of a way to do that, just let me know down in the comments. So I hope you guys are ready to enjoy questplay Skyrim Chapter 28. Alright, where is our good friend Klimek? I need to let him know that we were able to deliver those supplies. Oh, he's right in front of me. Nope. Guard. That is not super useful. I suppose it would help if I could see.
Was a hero named Lucian Flavius, whose
Little-
singing and writing and looks were just marvelous.
You tell him, Lucian. Oh. Is hanging out in this house. I'd say a house. Maybe it's like a guard tower or something. Oh, Klimek. I was able to deliver those supplies for you, my friend.
You've been a good friend to me. That means something.
Well, thank you. I was able to deliver the supplies.
Quite a climb, wasn't it? Anyway, much appreciated. Here, take this for your troubles. Thanks again for the legwork.
Thank you, sir. Alright, well, we need to... I think get a horse? No, carriage, obviously, is what I meant to say, and... then, that way, we can get over to Morthal and nip on over to that cave, but I think the best time to do that would be in the morning. I'm not talking to you, man. And
Welcome to the Villamere Inn.
do I still have the room rented
Just
from you?
let me. May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
I'd like to rent a room, please.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Great.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Well, well, well. Dragonborn. Now with the Greybeard's seal of approval and a bunch of shiny mystical powers to boot. Do you have any idea how exciting this is for me? To be able to study the Thu'um up close and with such regularity. I must write this all up. No other scientist in Tamriel has this kind of opportunity.
Have you spoken to Fastred yet?
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be interesting for sure, Lucian. But why don't you relax here for the night?
So long as you come back for me.
Will do.
Alright.
Rimic is doing just
The
fine.
Greybeards have taught you well, and you are a quick learner. Now you are louder and faster than ever.
Yeah.
Let us go get that horn, my friend.
Well, thanks, Inigo. Mind if I ask you something?
Ask away.
Relax here for a bit.
Good idea. You should take a break too. You deserve it.
Ready?
I've traveled Skyrim
You guys are so
for many
cute.
years, and
Video?
it's never so dangerous.
Relax here for a bit.
Common dogs anymore. Some of them
Otherwise,
have
mind
military
your
backgrounds and the fuel for tactics.
Alright, well, before I go to sleep, one thing I want to do is...
For bears,
I think... it's time to up my innate attributes. Oh, I've apparently I have been neglecting this for a while, so I will increase both my health and innate magicka. Oh, and I'm almost ready again. So let's see. I think getting a point of block mastery be something worth studying. Another point in one-handed mastery. Although I do want to kind of learn how to kind of channel magic a little better. So I think after we retrieve the horn, go back to Arium, it would be nice if I went back to the college, just so I can start, because I really want to learn more about magic.
You want a drink?
No, thank you.
A pleasant journey, milady.
And so that way, you know, it's like, because like I do want to be able to like be more effective as a spellcaster and as a sword wielder.
I think you should continue.
And while I'm here, might as well spend a little bit of time studying the 3 spells that I think I'd like to learn.
You with your performances.
Watch out
What's
for
the
bears.
point? I'm not very
Never
good,
mind.
and it's only for the
You'll
same few people
probably
every
hear them
night.
coming.
I think you play beautifully. It would be a shame if you stopped.
Alright,
All right, Wilhelm.
time to
I suppose
get
it's the least
some
I can do for you.
rest. Alright, the sun's up.
We don't
Let's
get
get
many
back to
visitors
it.
through here.
Follow me.
I'll be right behind
Headed
you.
up to High Hrothgar, of course.
Right behind you.
Yes? Yes, my friend.
Follow
I'm
me.
right behind you.
Lydia, I think it's kind of weird that you just stood in one place all night, but follow me.
I'm with you, Thane.
Thank you. Alright, now is there a...
I've been looking
oh,
for you.
you.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. It's from Falk Firebeard at the Blue Palace. Ooh, you've got friends in high places. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Letter from Steer Firebeard? What could he possibly... Huh, wonder what's going on. Azalea. Over the last few days, we've had some disturbing information come to light regarding the events at Wolf Skull Cave. And the summing and unbinding ritual you've interrupted there. Given your involvement with that event, I'm asking you to return to Solitude to help us once more. I'm wary of putting all the details in print. Please see me at the Blue Palace. Sincerely, Falk Firebeard. What? I wonder if this is something to do with Wolf Queen Potema. That's not good. That weird. I thought I had put a stop to that, but maybe not.
Nope. Sorry. Nothing.
Lucian, you're gonna have to follow us on foot, unfortunately, until we get to Riften. I think that's the next closest stable. Alright, travel there. Alright, we made it to Riften. Lucian, sorry you had to kind of run behind us. We really need to figure out how to get you trained up with a horse riding. But I need to go to Morthal.
Yes?
I'd like to hire your carriage, please.
Where do you want to go?
Y'all march?
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
take me straight to Morthal, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Great, thank you.
Morthal, capital of the Allmarch Hold. Not quite in the same league as Solitude or Whiterun, but a nice enough place if you like swamps.
Oddly enough, this is actually the one city that I had been.
What's the Jarl going to do about it?
How are we supposed to feel safe in our own?
Please.
Oh, there's an apothecary.
I have told
Great. Stock up on the potions. Ow.
Please.
Time is it?
About your business.
6 in
I think I
No
hear
need
another
for wizards
murmur.
in our midst. Morthal has enough problems
Alright,
as
well.
it is. It's no use.
It's the inn. Moorside Inn. Alright. Probably just pass the time here for a couple hours. We eat.
You want
for
something
the...
to drink?
No, thank you. While we wait for all the
You
shops
want
to open.
something to drink?
Yeah, sure.
Have you met the bard that plays here? He's got a voice like broken glass and fingers like the knob of a carrot. Sometimes he ventures outside, and when he plays, the animals in the marsh will start screaming.
That's a water.
That's not very
Until
kind.
next
The
time.
most important thing he learned in the Legion was that what happens to your feet happens to the rest of your body.
Keep her here.
Welcome to the Moorside. If you need anything, I'll be round.
Yeah.
Hope to have a customer.
Any rumors lately?
People say there's someone in Riften that can change your face.
I've heard that
You
one.
look completely different.
I've lived
Do you
in
believe
Skyrim
that?
my whole life and never left.
Any other news or rumors?
Here, take a look at
My
this.
father told me to visit Westwall before the Thalmor.
And do you got any leads as far as work goes?
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
Great. And I would like to rent a room, please.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Alright, great.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Alright, we can nap for like 3 hours or so, so that way we can, go to the shops? Alright, so we need to go north, and pretty much straight north. Right. Oh, let's get going then.
Why anyone would choose to build a town out here is beyond me. Where are they supposed to grow crops?
Lydia, I think you need to use a little more imagination. As far as growing crops. Sorry. Dang, mud crab. Also, I just realized I forgot to go into the shop, but that is not the end of the world. Dang, that mud crab hit me pretty hard. What is going on here? Not pleasant. Alright. Let's retrieve this horn first, and then... Do you want to get that coin back to Arian, though? Arian can probably wait. Whatever's going on there looks sinister. Why don't you guys draw your weapons? No. We are in combat. Maybe. Alright, well, whenever you guys have killed that mud crab or whatever it is that you plan on doing, please join me. Alright, so we're looking for tomb, right? Yep. I think I found our tomb. Uh-oh. That's not good. Necromancer. Guys.
You puny weak.
Alright, well, at least if I take him down, it should take these down too. Alright, well, that's not overly pleasant. Bandit. Admiral, Woodcutter. Bandit. Huh. Alright, so this must be the place we were looking for. Although, yeah, necromancers are never up to anything good. Skooma. Better hide that so Niga. Yep. Alright, let's get into this Ustengrav.
I wonder how valuable the horn is.
Yeah,
Maybe
this place
the
seems
Greybeards
great.
will let you keep it.
Ustengrav,
We deserve a
party
reward
capital
for
of
suffering this
Skyrim.
place.
Oh wait, my mistake. It's horrendous.
Oh,
I lost
Lucian.
my mother to bandits like these. Don't leave a single one alive.
That's hard to hear. I'm sorry to hear that, Lydia. It seems like they've killed each other, most part. Although I did see somebody walking up.
Slower than Argonians in a blizzard.
Feel free to grab a pick and help them out. I prefer not to sully myself with manual labor.
There goes another one.
Bah, weak-willed rabble. Even dead, they're almost useless.
Alright, well, I guess we figured out what the necromancers are.
I can smell magic and death.
They seem
but
less
no
intelligent
horns.
each time you raise them. If that's even possible.
So many of
Ooh, sorry, Lydia. Shit. I could probably drop a couple of these iron things off. Alright, well, we've got necromancers, bandits, assholes. Oh my.
I lost my mother to bandits like these. Don't leave a single one alive.
You got it, Lydia. see. This way. Also,
I think I hear another Nirn root.
I don't think I hear another one down this far.
Spell slinger.
Ow! 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 Sorry, Lydia. Alright. What are we all doing? Pick up this time. Oh, like this Ustengrav is a little more trouble than we bargained for. I mean, it's always more trouble than we bargained for, so... Seem to be relatively safe for the moment. Mystery of Talara, Volume 2. Mystery of Princess Talara, Part... Volume 11. No, Part 2, sorry. By Mera Llykith. She felt nothing. Darkness enveloping her body and mind. Pain surged through her leg, and with that sensation, a feeling of cold washed over her. She opened her eyes and saw that she was drowning. Her left leg would not move at all, but using her right one in her arms, she pulled herself up towards the moon above. It was a long way through the swirling currents that wrenched back at her. At last she broke the surface and sucked in the cold night air. She was still close to the rocky shoreline of the capital city of the Kingdom of Camlorn, but the water had carried her quite away from where she fell at Cavalsier Rock. Not fell, she thought, correcting herself. She had been pushed. Further down current, she allowed herself to drift. There the steep cliff walls sloped lower until they were close to the water's edge. The silhouette of a large house on the shore loomed ahead, and as she neared it, she could see smoke rising from the chimney and the flicker of firelight within. The pain in her leg was great, but greater still was the chill of the water. The thought of a warm hearth fire was all the motivation she needed to begin swimming again. At the shore's edge, she tried to stand, but found she couldn't. Her tears mixed with the sea water as she began to crawl across the sand and rock. The simple white sheet which had been her costume at the flower festival was tattered and felt like a weight of lead across her back. Beyond the point of exhaustion, she fell forward and began to sob. "Please," she cried. "If you can hear me, please help." A moment later, the door to the house opened and a woman stepped out. It was Ramke, the old lady she had met at the flower festival, the one who had started and cried, "It's her," even before she knew who she was. By contrast, when the old woman came to her, this time there was no glimmer of recognition in her eyes. "By Sethith, are you hurt?" Remke whispered, and helped her up, acting as her crutch. "I've seen that gown before. Were you one of the dancers at the flower festival tonight?" "I was there with Lady Julia Reyes, the daughter of the king." "I know," she introduced herself. She groaned. "I called myself Gina of Daggerfall." "Oh, of course, I knew you looked familiar somehow," the old woman chuckled, and led her hop by hop across the beach into the front door. "My memory isn't as good as it used to be. Let's get you warm and have a look at that leg." Remke took Gina's soaking rags and covered her with a blanket as she sat by the fire. As the numbness of the chill water began to leave her, the cruelty abandoned her to the intense agony of her leg. Until then, she had not dared look at it. When she did, she felt vomit rise at the sight of a deep gash, fish-white and dead flesh, plump and swollen. Thick arterial blood bubbled up, splashing on the floor in streams. "Oh dear," said the old woman, turning to the fire. "That must rather sting. You're lucky that I still remember the old healing spells." Ramke seated herself on the floor and pressed her hands on either side of the wound. Gina felt a flare pain and then a cool, soft, pinching prickle. When she looked down, Ramke was slowly sliding her wrinkled hands towards one another. At their approach, the lesion began to mend before her eyes, flesh binding and bruises fading. "Sweet Kinnereth," Gina gasped. "You've saved my life." Not only that. You won't have an ugly scar on your pretty leg," Ramke chuckled. "I had to use that spell so many times when Lady Julia was little, you know." "I was her nursemaid." "I know," Gina smiled. "That was a long time ago, and you still remember the spell." "Oh, when you're learning anything, even the School of Restoration, there's always a lot of study and mistakes. But once you're as old as I am, there's no longer any need to remember things. You just know. After all, I've probably cast it 1,000 times before. Little Lady Julia and little Princess Talara was always out getting cut and bruised. Small wonder the way they was always climbing over the palace." Gina smiled. "You must have loved Lady Julia very much." "I still do," Remke beamed. "But now she's all grown, and things are different, you know. I didn't notice it before you were all wet from the sea, but you look very much like my lady. Did I mention that before when we met at the festival?" "You did," said Gina. "Or rather, you thought that I look like Princess Talara." "Oh, it would be so wonderful if you were the princess returned," the old woman gasped. "You know, when the former royal family was killed, and everyone said the princess was killed, though we never found the body. I think the real victim was Lady Julia. Her heart just broke, and for a while it looked like her mind did too." "What do you mean?" asked Gina. "What happened?" "I don't know if I should tell a stranger this, but it's fairly well known in Camlorn, and I really feel like I know." Ramke struggled with her conscience, then released. "Julia saw the assassination, you see. I found her afterwards hiding in that terrible blood-stained throne room, and she was like a little broken doll. She wouldn't speak, she wouldn't eat. I tried all my healing spells, but it was quite beyond my power. So much more than a scraped knee. Her father, who was the Duke of Aloin, sent her to a sanitarium in the country to get well." "That poor little girl," cried Gina. "It took her years to be herself again," said Ramke, nodding. "And in truth, she never really returned altogether. You wonder why her father, when he was made king, didn't make her his heir. He thought that she was still not exactly right, and in a way, as much as I would like to deny it, he's correct to think so. She remembered nothing at all. Do you think," Gina considered, her words carefully that she would be better if she knew that her cousin, the Princess Talara, was alive and well. Ramke considered it. I think so. But maybe not. Sometimes it's best not to hope. Gina stood up, finding her leg to be as strong as it looked to be. Her gown had dried, and Ramke gave her a cloak, insisting she protect herself against the cold night air. At the door, Gina kissed the old woman's cheek and thanked her, not only for the healing spell and for the cloak, but for everything else of kindness that she had done. The road close to the house went north and south. To the left was the way back to Camlorn, where the secrets lay to which she alone had the key. To the south was Daggerfall, her home for more than 20 years. She could return there, back to her profession on the streets, very easily. For a few seconds, she considered her options and then made her choice. She had not been walking for very long when a black carriage drawn by 3 horses bearing the Imperial seal, together with 8 mounted horses, passed her. Before it rounded the wooded pass ahead, it stopped suddenly. She recognized one of the soldiers as Norbuth, Lord Strael's manservant. The door opened and Lord Strael himself, the Emperor's ambassador, the man who had hired her and all the other women to entertain at court, stepped out. You, he frowned. You're one of the prostitutes, aren't you? You're one of the ones who disappeared during the flower festival? Gina, am I right? All that is true, she smiled sourly, except my name I've discovered is not Gina. Well, I don't care what it is, said Lord Strael. What are you doing on the South Road? I paid for you to stay and make the kingdom merry. If I went back to Camlorn, there are a great many who wouldn't be merry at all. Explain yourself, said Lord Strael. And so she did, and he listened. Alright guys, that actually seems like a pretty good place to wrap up Chapter 28, so thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all had a good time, and let me know down in the comments how you're liking the new audio setup, and I will see you all next time.